from rjpasini-com. Coming to you today to show you start to finish process on packaging an item, how to make a custom box with another box, and I'm going to go through the steps I do, and I hope it'll help you out if you're ever in a situation where you don't have a particular box that you need, or if you have an oversized box and you need to cut it down to size. That's the problem. Sometimes people will get bigger boxes than the item. For example, I have over here this tape recorder that's sold. I like to keep everything wrapped up, by the way. But here's an example right here. This out. This Panasonic tape recorder sold. Okay, now I have a box that's made for it, and I'm going to show you how I did it and what I do. Now, here's the box I had. I'm going to have to move the camera down, so just bear with me for 1 second, folks. Sorry about that. Okay. Here we go. This way you get an idea what's going on here. Alright, now here's the box I have. Okay. As you can see, I pulled it apart. And there's a reason why I did it. Now, if you look at it, I'm just going to fold it in really quick. I'm going to fold this in. It's a little, I should have left it ahead of time, left it the way it was before I pulled it apart, but I just want to show you what I did here. Okay, so anyway, now if you look at this box, this definitely is big enough for the item. Put in here, you can see it's got more than enough room in here. You can see it's got more than enough room. You can see it's deep. I have the box opened up, but you get the idea. Now, you got all that. Look how much space you got in here. Okay. Now, you say, well, yeah, but you want padding. No, I do. You definitely want padding. Okay. There's no doubt about it. But I have a rule, and my thing is, it's always good to have a 2-inch padding on along the side, on all the sides. But for this particular case, we're going to leave it the way it is right now. And I'm going to show you from start to finish how I take care of this stuff. Here's a box that was like this at one time. I cut it. Alright? Don't mind me going through the steps. I hope you have the time for this. It's going to take some time to do this, but this is to show people that you can make a box, and you can make a custom box out of big boxes. Now this box here, I can't really open up because the camera is set very close, but this is a big box. Okay, you can see the size over here. It's 18 by 18 and 24 inches. What I did is I took one of these boxes and put this back on the side over here, and I used it to make other boxes. As you can see here, the flap is cut on this one here. It's cut here. It's cut. Okay. What I'm going to do is take this box, right? I take this box and place it over here. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I might have to move the camera back a little more to get a better angle. I'm sorry, folks. I got to move this back, so bear with me for 1 second. It's pretty tough when you're working like this here. I think that'll do it. Let's see. Okay, I think that should do it. All right. Oop, I can't see. I got the viewer turned the other way. Sorry about that, folks. I'm really messing up today. Okay. So now we got that box, that big box is talking about. So what we're going to do is, you might want to invest money and get one of these. It's a yardstick, 36-inch yardstick. Now, what you do is, you don't have to use this at one point. I'm just saying that's what I have in case I have to make a box, a custom box from scratch. What I'm doing right here is, I'm basically tracing out this box here. And I'm using this as a guide. See, actually these folds here, okay? But what we're going to do is, matter of fact, to save us a little time and trouble, I'm going to cut the folds off on this particular box right here. I'm going to cut this side off. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to move that to the side, and I'm going to cut this off. Okay, it's going to come out a little cocked up, but that's okay. We don't really need that right now. We're just going to get trimmed again. So you're going to cut the sides off of this particular box. Now you might say, wow, you're damaging a good box. You already have one. You can just show us how you do it. But you know what? I'd rather do it this way. This way, if people run into a jam where they need a box, you'll have an idea of how I do mine. Okay, so we're gonna cut this up here. Not like that, we get makes it a little easier to work with. Okay. Now we got 3 folds here. Okay. Now we're gonna take this here, the box that we just took off. And we're gonna use this box, by the way. I mean, I'm not gonna get discarded, of course. We're just using this here as a template. Okay. So now what you want to do is you get the box even as possible to the sides. Doesn't have to be perfect, folks, because it's going to be all taped up anyway. Okay, so what we want to do is, with the pen, you measure this, like this. Oops. I don't recommend you doing this if you have a lot of products like this. I don't sell tape recorders all the time. This is just something that, I picked up and I figured, hey, what the heck, You see the little slots over here? Just do your little doohickey like that. Same thing here. Alright, same thing. Alright, here. Try to do this as quick as possible. I can't guarantee it's going to be done that quick, but we're going to try the best we can here. Alright. This little fold, you can keep that there, that little fold. And same thing here. On the same side here. Like this. Same thing here. And same thing here. Okay, now if you notice there's a line here from this here. Let's move it over here. We're going to try to do this as quick as possible. I normally I use the yardstick, that's what I bought it for. But we're going to do this quick like this here. Try to anyway. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this by eye, just to save a little time. Now, the only thing I got to do here is, sorry folks, is the, I forgot to do one little thing here. Oh, it's on this side. Okay, gotcha. All right. Sometimes it gets a little confused, like a giant jigsaw puzzle. Okay, what you're going to do now is take the ruler, well, we'll take your knife as it is. You're going to cut this off because we don't need this, it's too big. I'm doing this by eye. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And the reason why I like to do boxes like this, do custom boxes, is because, you might be you might have a box that's too big. You might be one of those type of things, like, oh, I went to the store and this is the only size box they have, and what a nuisance, So, and here's the side we're going to cut off, we're going to trim it. We don't want all this extras. And let me tell you something, folks. Don't ever think for one moment that because you don't trim certain things, it's not going to make a difference. It does, believe me. I have a scale, my little postage scale, to prove it too. Cutting this stuff off, the excess, what a difference it makes in weight. And let me tell you, I was listening to eBay radio, and they were saying on eBay radio that the post office, FedEx, they're going to be upping their postage. So you might want to try to, if you have a box, you might want to try to skim it down a little. But listen, do one thing though. Make sure when you're doing it, that you don't trim it down so much where there's not enough space for packaging. You don't want that to happen. My suggestion when you're doing this here, cuts on the sides. Make sure you got a pretty sharp utility knife. And I also got I'm going to show you something else what I do with that cardboard. Another money saving tip, as far as like, you probably wonder, what are you going to do with cardboard? I've done things with cardboard, and believe it or not, it works. This stuff works. Okay, now here, this is the little flaps of stuff. That's the one we just did here. Remember, we made the little marks there. Okay, you're going to just trim that out. I think you see what's happening here. What we're doing is we're replicating the box. That's what we're doing here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. Trust me. The whole objective to this is getting this to the buyer in one piece, not broken. Because you know it and I know it, with this eBay business, buyers will complain to eBay, or to you, or definitely to you, but they'll also complain to eBay that when the item came here, it was broken, it was all busted up, whatever, and that's the last thing. I'm just showing you how I do my stuff. You don't have to do my same practices on how I send stuff out. That's totally up to you. How you send your stuff out is up to you. Okay, so we go like this. All right, this here. Tab out. It's a lot of work, no doubt about it. It's definitely a lot of work. If I had, like I said, I already said in my other videos, if I had hundreds of these to do, or 10, or even 10, or whatever, then it's a horse of a different color. You might say, well, then you won't be talking so much about saving postage, or modifying boxes down to make them customized. No, I probably not if I had a lot of these, because it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I'm not worried about too much in that there. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, what about the folds? Where's the folds coming in? Okay, the folds are going to come in right about as soon as I cut this last piece off. And like I said, folks, you don't have to worry about how perfect it is. Okay, now, this is most likely where the fold marks are going to be. Okay? Now, this is where the yardstick comes in. You take your yardstick, and right at the edge of where those marks were, you're going to take your pen. I do this by, I don't use the ruler to cut it. I do this by eye. So right on the lower parts here, what you're going to do is you're going to take your pen, like this. All right. Again, it does not be perfect. Okay. Down here like this. All right. Actually, like that. I'm trying to do this fast, folks, because I know videos could be long and drawn, and people probably say, "Why don't you just get right to the point and tell us what's going on?" I wish I could do it, but slow but steady wins the race, so to speak. Okay, so we move it over here a little, get that on the line. I want to try to keep it as straight as possible, and you go like this. Okay. Now, of course, you got your marks here. Now, don't think because you did that, now you got to score it. And remember, whenever you're scoring these things, you want to score it lightly. You don't want to cut through. This is a thin box. Okay, this is a thin box. So I'm doing this by eye right now. Trying to keep it right on the money there, as you can see. I think I did one of these once before, but I'm just trying to show you from scratch. There is another way of doing it. You can do it with measurements too, but I figured a template one will give you an idea. Now, what you could do is, you could buy the boxes. Like I said, I get the boxes at Walmart. That 18 by 18, 24, I think it is over there, is $1.32 for that box. But out of that box, I can get 3 out of them. I got 3 things. This will be the 3rd thing I got out of it. The other ones were small. You probably wonder how could you get 3. And depending on how small the item is, you could probably get 5 items. If they're little things, you make a little box, you could probably get 5. It depends. Depends on how big the item is. But you always got to allow for packaging. Putting the stuffing in there and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you another little thing right up there. Got this. Okay. All right. Now you got that there. Okay. Okay. Whoopsie. That's okay. We don't need it anyway. So now you do it on the opposite side. Sometimes when you get that little crink like that, it's because you didn't cut through deep enough. That's okay. Sometimes, well, then again, you have to in certain cases. Let me get the rule. I mean, this thing here. Okay, let's try this again. If you start getting it like that, starts giving you a little hard time, just cut it again. A little deeper this time. Okay. There you go. We want to make it look like a box. That's the whole premise behind this here. Okay, so we got all of that. Okay. Now you notice this is the fold mark. That's from the other box, because what we did is we took the box and we're using the fold marks, the fold part of it. That's from the big 18 by 18 by 24. Okay, so that's why that does. That's why it's doing what it's doing. Okay. Again, if you're doing it and you see it's not working, like it doesn't fold properly, don't cut through the box because then you wear it out. But okay, you don't want to cut through it. And then you got to tape it. I've done things like that in the beginning. When I first started doing this here, I cut it off and I said, you know what, I'm not going to ruin the box, I'm not going to cut another box up. I just put the tape on both sides, this side and the other side, and I used it. Box, even though you say, oh, it's only $1.32, when you're doing stuff in a lot of volume, it gets to be very costly. Okay? And you'll find that out through your shipping costs, believe me. It's not a pleasurable thing when you got to keep spending money on boxes. But see, my thing is, I do this here to maximize the use of the box. You're not going to use a big box like that to send a little thing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even this is considered big. Okay, now over here, this is that little lip we had here. You just go like this, you can do this by eye. Again, it doesn't be perfect. You actually can cut it off, but there's a reason why I want to keep it on is because that's going to be the one. See, we're emulating this box. We're emulating this, and what I mean by that is, when you do this, this is how the box was originally. Okay. This went inside. Now you might say, well, how are you going to use this box now being you cut it? Well, what I do is, I put this in here like that, and I put the tape across in here. Okay, and then I tape it, and then I tape the sides. Tape the corner. This box will definitely be used. Even though it's a 68-cent box, it will be used. I'm using this as a demo purpose, you know, for purposes. Okay, now we got that. Okay, now the fold part comes in, just like that box. Start folding it up. Okay. Sometimes it gets a little tricky, folks. But you know, it gets a little confusing at times, but it makes sense in the end, to some point. Yes. Even I get confused doing this, believe me. Even I get confused doing this, because you're saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, how come it's not looking like that box there? It does get a little confusing, and sometimes you say to myself, now here's a prime example of why is this like this, right? Okay. We're doing something wrong here, so let's see what we got going on here. Okay, chances are, I think I didn't cut a fold over here. I think there was something I was supposed to do. Let's see. Sometimes that happens, folks. You're going to have a situation like that where you're doing these things and you say, wow, it didn't match up for some reason. Okay, let's go back over here again and see why didn't this work over here. We emulated the box. You're going to have this happen to you. Don't get yourself all flustered. Okay. Now you can see it's almost the same thing, right? But we say to ourselves, why is that happening? Okay. I think that's because the box has to go this way. It becomes like a jigsaw puzzle, it really does. Okay. There's a reason why this is happening, I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Right. So anyway, something like that. I think I got the box reversed, though. I think it's a reverse process. So anyway, I think I know what's going on here. I guess the best way to do this, bring these two sides together like that on that box. And that'll get you to where you get there. Okay? Alright. So, going back here, this is how you gotta do it. I'm sorry, folks. Very simple, but you know, sometimes you don't see it, you get confused. Now, I think what's throwing me off here, is right here. This is what's throwing me off here. Okay? That's what's throwing me off. That's why I think I'm getting an incorrect fold in there. Sorry about that, folks. This happens. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It happens. Yeah, that's the problem. I forgot to do that fold there. I think this is good. This is good. Yep. Make sure, if it starts bending like that, make sure you take the ruler and you do it again. Score it. Okay. I think that was the problem. I think that's what was causing it. 1 second, I'll be right back. If I get the tape. That's one of the most important things you need, folks, is the tape when you're doing this here. Okay. So now, I think, there we go. It starts to make a little more sense now, see? But, you know, you're going to notice in certain cases that because the fold is here, you're going to have to, you know, work with it the best you can. And I think the problem lies is that even though you got this way, see here, because it was on a fold, this has to be cut too, believe it or not. And I see why, because you gotta remember this was a folded box at one point. Let's over here, and we go over here. Okay, I think that'll do. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's crazy too. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if I would do this all the time myself. I mean, but you know, you do these things to when you don't have it, when you're running out of boxes. Okay, when you're running out of boxes, you do stuff like this here. I wouldn't recommend you do it for everything. But anyway, you can see what the output is going to be like here. Okay, and then you put your packaging in here, and you got a custom-made box. Okay, but right now, that's how it'll lay. Now this will all be taped up here, of course. But you see what I'm saying? You got a custom-made box. All right. Again, looking at the tape recorder, it's got a big buffer in it. But you know what? We'll work with that. Sometimes I had it where it was too much, and what I would do is I would put them on here, cut, and then fold it again. You know, the thing is, you want this to be packaged. You want enough space for padding, so when you put your stuff in there, it's not going to mess it up. Okay, that's what you want to do. We're going to cut this down, maybe. But again, you got to figure, this is a heavy tape recorder. This thing weighs at least 2 or 3 pounds, if not, you know, and it's pretty heavy. Actually, this box would be the good size to use, and to work with. But I don't know, I'm going to see. But anyway, let me show you what I do with the other box. That's how you make the custom box. Let me get this out of here so we don't get that damaged. What I was talking about before with the tape, you would take the brown tape here. Okay. Don't worry if it goes over the side. What you do is you go like this here. You know, you might say you end up wasting a lot of tape like this, but you know what? If you ever run into those snags, I don't know about you, I have many a times over. Matter of fact, I have, like I said, I could use this box here to do it. I use the tape too. I don't waste. I try not to waste anything. Okay. It's here. All right. And put over here. Okay. So make sure this is nice and down. Okay. And then you go like this to the inside. Let's just use that there just to hold it open so you see what I'm doing here. Again, same thing. I normally don't like to rip boxes up, but I mean I could use this as a template, but I'm going to use this right now to do it this way. You know, for demonstration purposes. Okay, now people may say, yeah, but is that still going to be strong? Of course it's strong. Because you're going to give it a double layer on the outside anyway. Okay, it'll hold. Believe me, I've done this many times, and it works, trust me, it works. Okay, so you go like this. The box is as good as they're just about, okay? So what you're going to do now is, with these boxes, you're always going to put the mark side on the bottom, of course. 2 things, depending how you want to keep it. I like to keep it somewhat neat, whatever. And you go like this. So the less print, the better. Alright, now you got this here. What I do is because I want to try to keep the box neat. Put it like this here. See that, folks? I'm sorry. I'm trying to work on the top here. I'm really working on top just to get me started. You see over here? Same thing. The tape becomes like a helper here, which it does. Definitely help. Let's close this now so you can see what we're doing here. Sometimes you got to fight with these boxes. Now, when you're doing something that's heavy, you might want to go over it again, but I like to do it this way. I always like to go this way as well. See that? I like to make sure they're reinforced. Okay, I like to make sure they're definitely reinforced. And let the elbows in here too. That's all right. That. Don't, you know, when it comes to electronics and something heavy, you don't want to be stingy with the tape. Okay, so now you got that there. You got box. Oops. Yeah. You know what? This piece here, when you get it like this, you can cut this off. You don't really need to have that on there. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. So now, here we have the tape recorder again. This is a big box for it. As you can see, we could cut it down to size to get it to where it's going to fit in there and have enough padding on both sides. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to allow, I call it the 2-inch rule. Actually, in some cases, it could be a 3-inch. What you're going to do is, you want padding on both sides. So what I do is I take my pen, All right, and I don't know if you can see that there and there. I measured 3 inches from here, and I measure 3 inches from the top, actually the fold mark here, like this. It's good. This is a good way of doing it too. Okay. Well, the reason why I'm putting them on, I'm not cutting back here. What I'm going to do is, after I get my reference mark there, I'm going to get the unit again, and I'm going to look and make sure I have enough padding. Because now when I cut it down to size, I'm going to cut it from here. I'm going to shorten it up a little. I should have enough space to put padding here and here. You don't want to, because you don't want to over pad it, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to trim it down to here. All right, so I'm going to take my ruler, because we don't need all this box. Now you might say, you might be wondering, there's a method to the madness here, but it is, okay? We don't need all this here. We don't need all this box. It's too much box. So again, this is what happens though, okay? So what you're going to do is, on that prep mark, right over here, you're going to take it and you're going to cut from that line down. You might be saying, well, maybe you could have done that right from the get-go. I could have, but you know what? I like to do it this way because I know how it comes out. Okay. Okay. Sorry, folks, this is going to take a little longer than expected, but this just gives you an idea of what I go through. See, now we got the size there like that. That's the size box we want. The prep mark, as you can see, the cut mark, it's not that there. So when you put it in there, you got enough padding for both. Okay. Now, put this guy over here. And what you're going to do is, you're going to follow that. Use your ruler. Try to do it right the first time, okay? 3-inch rule. I call it between 2 and 3 inch rule on there because you want to allow enough padding in case this thing does drop. You go like this, okay? You could use your utility knife and a ruler at the same time here for this. Well, now it gives you an example of what I go through. This is what I go through. Not on a daily basis, but when I get things like this. Make sure you hold your hand in there. Okay. Sometimes if you're lucky, you get a nice fold like that. See that? And if you do it with the ruler and don't do it by eye, try doing it by eye. No good. No good. Because sometimes the thing comes out this way and the box comes all discombobulated. Give yourself a reference mark. Get the ruler. Okay. Like that. I'm going to move that camera up, folks, because I think this way I think you could get a better idea of what I'm doing here. Sorry about that, folks. I'm trying to do this fast at the same time and give you an idea of what's going on here so you can see what's going on behind the scenes. But okay, so again, light score, and I cut them all over here. Hold your hand in there when you're doing it. Like that. Okay. I think you're starting to see the gist of it, you see? Okay. I know I could do it, I could just probably follow the line, but I'm going to do it this way. I want it to come out close to perfect. Which it doesn't look like it's going to come out close to perfect, but we'll see. Okay. So now we go like this. Alright. Okay. Same thing, I already cut that side, we just got to score this one. Try to do it. If you try to do it as neat as possible. Same thing. If it gives you a little hard time, you might have to do a little more cutting. Right. Now, here you got the box. You see, now you get the gist of it. Okay, you see what's going on here now? Put that in there like that. You got padding for all sides. Okay? All right. Now, you're not keeping all this. Too much cardboard. Definitely too much, but you don't need all that overlapping. You don't need all that. What you're going to do is this. Eye it up. Well, it's 12 inches, so if you go right over here on the 6-inch mark, okay, you go right over here on the 6-inch mark, like this, and like this here. Actually, you can just do it with the ruler. You're going to do a snip. You're going to trim it, trim it. And you don't care if you go below because you want the other one. You want the other one to be cut. Okay. You want this, sometimes it doesn't always cut like that, but you're going to go like this. Okay. You go like that. See what you got here? The same thing with this. We don't need all this excess box. It's going to create too much weight. Same thing, put it over here, put this down, like that, 6-inch mark. It's a lot of work. If you're a person that just wants to get the thing out, you're not too crazy about how it's going to be, that's up to you. I like to do things a little neat, you know. I like to try. I take pride in my work. Whoopsie. Now when you get a situation like that where the thing is caving in like that, score it as you do here. Cut. And now we just go like this. Right. All we're doing is trim the box. We just trim. We don't need excess. Okay. All right. So now you got the box like that. Okay. All right. Now the next step is you say so. Okay. Now what's you going to do with the padding? Okay. There's a couple of things to do here. Now, I'll be right back for 1 second here. This here is a tape recorder. Okay, we see. Sometimes it gets dusty. So what I like to do before I send it out is just give it a little brushing, get the dirt, any dust in there. It's clean. It's a clean unit, but it's been sitting, and sometimes it accumulates dust, even though it was in the bag. Now, what I'm going to do is, when I send these things out, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not saying that's why I get good ratings or good shipping things, but I like to wrap everything up in plastic. So I got this plastic stuff I got here. Okay, this is what I do. This is what I do when I have to send stuff out. I do this pretty much on a, I would be doing on a daily basis too. So what I'm going to do is move this box here. We'll put this on the side for now. And I'm going to take the plastic, get all this cardboard out here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that next. I'm going to use the clear tape for this. Okay, we don't need the pen. So what I'm going to do is, this is what I do. You don't have to do it, I do it because I want my customers to know that when their item's being shipped, it's being taken care of. Okay? They're going to get it with this. Looks like we care. I do care about my stuff when I send it out. You don't have to do this. People might say, nah, it's too much work, I'm not going to go through that there. And the other thing is, you might say, well, that's going to add weight. It will. It will add a little weight to it. It's a heavy plastic, but you know what? Again, I do this for the customer. Okay? I'm not saying anyone's going to do this. I don't expect anybody to do what I do. Okay. Now, here's the packing list. Now, believe it or not, you say this was on 8.5 by 11. Okay, but I cut it down to size, and the reason why I cut it down to size is because it does make a difference. I'll give you an example. I had a little package that was one ounce. When I put this on there, it was 1 ounce, 1.2 ounce, something like that. It made a difference when it was full sheet, full size. It made a difference. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna throw that in there, and very carefully, I'm gonna tape this part up here like this. Okay, like this here. You don't have to do this, folks. This is me. This is how I like to send my stuff out. Sometimes you might, if you read some of the feedbacks, it's like excellent packaging and stuff like that and so on and so forth. You don't have to do this. I do this because, I feel that when the buyer is getting it on the other end there, he could see it and say, well, this guy put effort into his packaging. He didn't just throw it in a box and that was his shit off. Okay. Now, all right. So now we got that. Packaging slip is in there. Okay. It's good like that. I'll get a little piece here. All right, like that. Okay. Now, with that box, now the fun part comes with the packaging. Packaging was something that always intrigued me as far as getting the stuff to go. What I do is these strips of cardboard. I have a shredder. It's on the side over there. You can't see. It's a heavy duty shredder. What I do is I shred this stuff. And when I shred it, I'm going to pull out the tray here. Okay. At one time, I used to throw the shredding out. I can see that. I used to throw the shredding out. And here, there's cardboard in here too. This is the cardboard. See it? I don't know if you can see that. The brown, that's the cardboard. Now, this is a heavy-duty shredder. And I mixed it with the white paper because when I get the paper like that, the paper from this here, from the packet slip, it went into the shred bin. Now, there's two ways to do this here. Let me just show you with the bag. Now, if you want to do it to make it nice and cushiony and not to have all this debris when the buyer takes it out, you could put this in a bag like this. I know you're probably saying, wow, what's the purpose of this here? Well, if you don't have a bubble machine, or bubble wrap machine, whatever those bubble machines that make it, this is the next best thing to it. Okay. I know it seems crazy. Now this is getting heavy. So you want to do is you don't want it to be too heavy, and you want to just twist it up like this. Okay. Now you have a cushion. That's about maybe an inch. Okay. You place that in a bag. Now that's not going to do the whole thing. So you might need another bag to do that. Let me get another bag. Okay. Now, those shopping bags that you get from the stores, you might want to hold on to them for that reason. Okay. Here's another one. Okay, so Walmart bag. You're going to take that plastic, the shred, and you're going to go like this with it. We don't need much because we just need enough to make that slide there to cushion it up. I had a buyer, somebody replied to a thing I did on the YouTube about people complaining about the shipping, it wasn't done right, and this guy said, well, I don't really do the custom bag thing here. And that's understandable, not everybody does things that way, they have their own way of doing things. Some people just take it and try to ship it out the best way they can. Okay, so now, look how it looks in there, okay? If this was to drop, you got enough padding on there. You got enough padding to hold it. So now what you're going to do is, you're going to take 2 more bags. Now, this is where you got to allow, in your shipping cost, you got to allow, a weight. If you have this thing weighing up, the tape recorder weighs, let's say 2 pounds or whatever, you might want to, and I'm not saying this to rip off the buyers, folks, but you might want to add a little more, maybe an extra pound, because this is going to make a difference, okay? So here's what I do. I'm not going to show you the label, I'm going to show you what I put on it, but, okay, so now you got this here. And the reason why you want to use the bag to pack this thing up is because when the buyer gets it, they're not going to want to have to go through all of this debris and pull it out, okay? So now, you go like this, same thing. Yes. You know what? I can't believe I ran out of this stuff already. Okay. Anyway, never fear. You can always make more. The thing is, we want to make sure you have enough packaging here so this thing does not get jostled around. Now, put it in here like this. Actually, that's almost like a bubble wrap type of thing, like bubbles. Okay. Now, when you close it up, I'm not done yet, folks. Do the shake test. Now you hear that there? It's still moving around. That's not good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You see the bin's empty? Okay, I'm going to take these pieces I have. I'm going to take this cardboard I have, and I'm going to shred it up. Okay. Bear with me for 1 minute. Believe it or not, that cardboard I have that's getting shredded up, you're going to see how it comes in useful. I'm going to pause the camera for a minute, folks. Hi folks, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. I know what I said earlier, and it works with the shredding of the cardboard, but you might want to think about that. I think I put a little too much in, and I kind of like jammed up my machine a little. I was able to still get some out, but you know what? Stick to the paper. You're better off. That's just words to the wise. It is a heavy-duty shredder, but let's face the facts. It's not really meant to shred cardboard, but as you can see, it did shred it. Okay. Anyway, in regards to shredding, stick with paper. Regular paper, 8.5 by 11 paper, white paper. Get away from the cardboard. It was a good gesture at one point, but you know what? If it's gonna jam up your machine and you got to clean it. I mean, I got it to work again, but I'm not. I think I'm gonna hold off on the cardboard. Anyway, remember before we were talking about the old shake test when you hear it like that, going like that? Apparently, it doesn't have enough packing. So now here's the thing. The reason why it's shaking is because it's got stuff on the side here. You see the sides here in the box? It's like here and here. That's why it's shaking back and forth. It's padded. I mean, if this thing drops on the bottom, it'll be padded, protected. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take, again, some of this stuff here, and we're going to use this packing. Now this here, you might say, well now, the buyer is going to get, but it's not going to be as messy as if the whole thing was filled up, okay? So we're going to use this here for packing on the side here. Just to give you an idea what's going on. We're going to use this for packaging on the side, all right? This is to fill the void, all right? And we're still going to put the other stuff on top. This is just to pack, this is just to get that void out, fill the void. I mean, the cardboard works. I mean, it was working, but like I said, I think I might have put too much in there, jammed it up. But don't do that, okay? Don't. As far as that advice goes, it was a nice idea to recycle, but unless you have a really super heavy duty one, it specifically shreds cardboard. Don't do it. Okay? It worked this time. As you can see, here's the shredded cardboard, but I wouldn't recommend it anymore. All right. Paper, yes, not cardboard. Okay, so now the voids are filled on the side. Okay, voids are filled on the side, and you want to pack it in there too, because again, you don't want this thing to be jostled around. All right, pack it in tight, because remember, when the person gets this, they will be the first ones to complain if it's broken. And you know something? I don't blame them. I would feel the same way. Okay, now I'm packing it down. Okay, look what you got. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in here. Right. Close this up. Okay, let's see. There you go. Okay, you don't hear anything. That's what you want. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, we don't need this here, no? We don't need this. What we're going to do is tape it up. I usually like to go, for some reason I think the clear tape is a lot more stronger than the brown tape. That's my personal opinion anyway, that's why I say it. So you're going to pack it up like this, just one sheet of that, clear tape, and you're going to get this. And remember, you want this to be well taped. I'm not saying go across the whole thing like this, as far as like back and forth, but at least on this side. Okay. All right. Now again, you want to do this. Okay. You want to. I know it seems like a lot of tape, folks, but let me tell you something. Gear is cheaper in the long run. Believe me, it is cheaper in the long run. It's the do it because you want what you want is a happy buyer. You want to come back and buy from you again, or spread the news that, hey, you know, when you buy from this guy here, he really packages the thing up. It comes and it's, you know, it comes well packaged. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure, you know, you want to get a good feedback too. See here, you want to reinforce that. Reinforce it. The only reason why that happened is because the box was cut a little too deep. Okay, you want to do it on both sides. Alright, now you're probably going to wonder what the weight is, and I'm going to share that with you in a second. I will share that with you in 1 minute here. Just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, now make sure everything is well sealed. If you see stuff like that there, not that it matters, you can just put a little piece of tape on it. I know people probably watch by saying, yeah, this guy wastes more tape than it's worth the box. But let me tell you something. That excess box will make a difference in weight, okay? All right, now we're going to turn the printer on here. Here I got a little postage scale. It goes up to 10 pounds, okay? Let's see what we got here. We're going to turn it on. Okay, make sure it zeroes out here because right now it's showing 7 ounces, okay? We're going to use the whole feature on it. That's that little beep sound. Let's see what we got at weight here. All right, this comes up to 7 pounds, 15 ounces. Okay, 7 pounds, 15 ounces, well, almost 8, might make it 8 pounds. So let's see what happens here on the thing here. Let's go here and go to the sold. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's see what we have. I mean, even if I am a little over, I'm okay with it because, okay, I'm right under the cusp. Matter of fact, I'm right on it. Okay, I'm right on it. It came to 8 pounds. Okay, so this guy, in this particular case, I did good. I didn't have to do anything. I'm going to compare. Now, here it says parcel select, thick envelope package, $28.56. I'm going to go priority mail, which is a large package, and I don't need to calculate, but I'll do it anyway. Okay, I'm going to save it. Now, one thing I want to say, folks, when you're saving this stuff, now I just saved this, right? Make sure, I know you're here sitting here wondering what I'm doing here. Even though you saved it, it still comes up parcel select, so don't be too quick to hit that print button, the purchase button. Go back to priority mail, 1 day, right, whatever it is there, 1 to 3 days. Make sure it's in that box that says priority mail, and it's going to come out instead of $28 and change. It's going to come out to $27.75, okay? And this is going to California IA. So now we're going to purchase it. We're going to purchase the postage. All right. My system's a little slow here, so you got to bear with me on 1 second there. And I think I hear my mailman coming around the area, so we'll go take care of that in a second. With my thing here, when I do the print preview, I can make the label as big as I want. So right now I have it at 80%. I think I'm going to leave it at 80. Yeah, let's see. No, we'll leave it at 80. Okay, so I'm going to close it. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to print the label, 1-to-1 page. Okay, now I got labels from the post office. They gave me this here. We know it's going to be 8 pounds. Here is the sheet, how it comes off. Of course, you got to trim, as always. You got to trim this here. See, this is a waste of paper, to be honest with you. That's why I end up getting a lot of shredded material. I mean, I'm able to shred a lot because when I'm doing stuff like this here, I had to find out, invest money in one of those postage machines that just have the labels. You could just print it out, because it's going to cost me a fortune in paper. So you might want to consider getting yourself one of those machines such as myself. I have a twin turbo one, but that doesn't print out those heavy duty, the big labels. You got to buy that printer. Okay, so now let's go like this, like that. So you pretty much are watching me do this from start to finish. A lot of people probably won't go through this here. They probably won't be bothered with this, doing what I do. And it is a lot of work. I'm not going to deny it, okay? It is a lot of work. So I have these labels here. I just want to show you what I got here. See the label here? It says, well, this one here says over here, please do not drop or crush. That's what I'm going to probably use. Again, I got the fragile, handle with care. And then I have over here, do not bend or crush. That's when you're sending out booklets or some other little thing. You don't want them to bend it up and crush it, you know. You never know the mindset of people, what they try to do, what they don't do. Now I put these labels on here. Is it going to help? You know, is someone going to actually drop this box? I don't know. But you know what? It lets the buyer know that, hey, the guy did do his due diligence. He put the labels on it. I can't help it. Once it's out of my premises, out of my hands, whatever the carrier does, whoever it may be, that's their business. I mean, if they want to handle it with proper care, that's up to them. But this is how I do it. Pricing up. There he goes again. More tape. I'm sorry, folks. I make my own labels. I try to save on the labeling. You know, I mean, I do this because I can make as many as I want, and if I'm in a bind, I don't have to worry about saying, oh, I didn't get a chance to go to the store. And then you just put over here, priority mail sticker, tracked and insured. Put a little piece of tape on that so it don't pop off. And this bad boy is ready to go. There you go. Okay, and you can't hear anything. Okay, it's pretty well packaged. I think when a person gets this here, it's going to go to California. I think everything should be good on it. I don't like this fold here, so I'm just going to put a piece of tape here. See here? I don't like that fold. Not for nothing, I just don't like that. I just want to make sure it's reinforced better. That's what that fold was. Well, don't forget, this was a custom box. Okay? Well, folks, there you have it. If you get a chance, tune in later. After I do this here, I'm going to be doing a news thing called What's Trending on eBay, and I just want to share something really funny with you. I have to share it with you. I'll probably be doing kind of news things like that. in the future, well, not even in the future, soon, I'm going to probably be doing things like that. So just be aware. And if you like what I did, I'm sorry I long drawn out process with this here. I didn't think it was going to take this long, but I just want to show you how I send my stuff out. And if the buyer is watching, he or she knows that they're going to get their package and it's going to be nice, you know. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you very much and have a good day. And if you like what you've seen here, subscribe. And if you like it, if you like how I did the thing here, the processing of it, give me a thumbs up. Thanks again. See you. Bye now.